High School in historic Wellsburg, West Virginia. WTRF proudly presents Ohio Valley Tonite with Nathan Marshall. Tonight's guest, University of Funny.
Welcome to another edition of Ohio Valley Tonite, and tonight we are joined by the lead instructor at the University of Funny, Matt Wolfarth. Did I get that right, Matt?
Yes, you did.
That's a crazy name.
We
What is
studied that for an hour. It's German.
Like German, of
It
course.
actually means welfare in German. Matthew B. Welfare.
Matthew B. Welfare.
It really didn't work out, like on the translation, you know.
Well, I was looking on your website, and you're also known as, your AKA name is Buzz Nutley.
Yes.
Which I don't know which one's better, but to start off with, Matt, what should I call you? Should I call you Buzz or Matt?
Well, growing up, my nickname was Wolfie,
Okay.
and I went to Hollywood, and there was another comedian named Wolfie, so I had to come up with another name.
Jerk.
So I come up with Buzz Nutley, but then people would make fun.
That's
worse
the first
than
one you came up with?
Well, that or Dick Frisbee.
That is I'm glad you went Buzz Nutley.
But then I realized that people weren't taking me serious. So like at some point I just said, I'm just going to be myself. But literally you call people like, hey, I have a movie I wrote. Can you take Buzz Nutley? Call me back with your real name. You know, so they wouldn't. So
no, yeah. I would like to work at Waffle House. What's your name? Dick Frisbee? No, we don't want you to work here. Well, now that that's all cleared up, why exactly did you start the University of Funny, and what exactly does a diploma from the University of Funny get you?
Well, I'll answer both questions. I guess
right.
the diploma will get you what everybody else gets, even if from Yale, Harvard, the same thing, no job in this economy. But you don't have a student loan, so that's the positive.
That's a
$99. You're out the door. We won't send you hate mail. We won't have collection calls, anything.
You have a student loan from that, you're in real bad shape.
Exactly.
You're
Well,
on Matthew B. Welfare.
I did have people make payments.
Yeah, right.
So, but the University of Funny, like I said, I've been doing stand-up for 20-some years, like 24 years. But I wanted to share my knowledge that I learned, doing clubs all over the country, bars, concert halls. I had a tour called Midlife Crisis Comedy Tour, but I didn't want my knowledge to die with me. I wrote a book called ABCs of Stand-Up Comedy, which is available on Amazon. So it teaches people how to do stand-up, but I wanted to teach people the right way and try to save them some steps. And what I'm trying to do is the fact that comedy just isn't somebody wanting to do stand-up. You can use stand-up comedy in sales presentations, being a doctor, having better patient skills. We taught a room full of dentists how to be stand-up in one day.
Can you imagine the dentist sitting there in the office, like, they're like, well, why'd the chicken cross the road? Oh. Just laugh.
They're killing.
Yeah. Well, you offer acting classes, improvisational classes, photography, filmmaking, and basic art of comedy classes at the University of Funny. For one, how do you make photography funny? And two, take us through what we would experience if we went to, through a class at the University of Funny.
Okay. Well, we don't know how to make photography funny yet, so that's the truthful answer.
I know what would be a funny picture for me is if you took a picture of Lance Armstrong before steroids.
Yeah, it's a science, yes. But that'll just be implications when you're trying to present yourself to prospective buyers on how to do it professionally. So we have a professional videographer, much like yourself, that will come in and teach you, like, hey, this is what you want to wear when you're on stage, or this is what you want to do, how you approach the camera and everything like that.
You need to wear a wacky tie on oversized shoes.
And you need a rubber chicken.
And
a rubber chicken. But I believe I can make anybody a stand-up. From the minute you're in the class, you're on the mic. We're teaching you the right mic technique. We're teaching you how to mine the funny in your life. Anytime you speak, you go up to the mic and use the mic. We teach you proper mic technique. We teach you the basic, to me, in stand-up today, it's authenticity.
Yeah.
Right, you're not writing jokes. Like when you start doing comedy, you're like, I'm going to write these jokes, and if people laugh, then that'll be great. But if they don't laugh, then it's really not me.
Yeah.
I take you right to the point where you're writing about your life, mining the authenticity. I call it face the frustration in your life. Any time in your life where you're, ready to flip out, traffic, relationships, work stresses, turn around, the comedy's right there.
Yeah.
People are stressed out. You see all the hatred in the world with guns and everything. Comedy can not cure it, but it could definitely help have that release valve that says, all right, I'm just going to laugh it off.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, relax, people. Relax.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it could be worse. They could be asking you to teach them how to Dougie.
I couldn't teach them how to do that. Are you a good dancer? I'm not.
Yeah. Well, so I have to ask you, since you are the lead instructor and the founder of the University of Funny.
I'm the only instructor.
Okay, only instructor. What makes you think that you are qualified to teach people what funny is?
That's a good question. I would say the pain of my miserable life. No.
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding.
It's a deep answer.
Yeah, deep answer.
Sign me up.
No. I would just say the fact that I've been all over the country. I've done comedy in pretty much every state except for 4 in the Union, 4 or 5, and then I went to Canada. But I've been to bars, I've done universities, I've done theaters. But overall, I mean, it's just I don't want to die with any knowledge. Like I love doing stand-up, whether I make $1 or I make $10 million. You know, so any of the knowledge I have, if I could save someone a step along the way to try to, you know, hey, try this instead of that, and which it seems to work, then they'll get further faster. Because you know, you've been in Hollywood, New York, you have to get there quick and you have to be there young. I mean, the only thing you can't change is the fact that you're young enough for a sitcom, or you have good hair, or whatever, the right look. But if you get it, authenticity is funny. Find the funny in your life, face the frustration. You pull from that, you're going to have comedy gold.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, of course, with the No Child Left Behind Act and all that stuff that's going on with schools, most of our students today, they feel as if they're not smart unless they get a certain score on a test. And one of our students here, Lindsey Willis, who's a senior, has a question for you about the University of Funny and standardized testing.
I'm a really dull person, so I was wondering if I needed a certain standardized test score to get into the University of Funny.
Lindsey, I'm not sure if you're a dull person, but that's a good question.
Our acceptance rate at this point is 100%.
Wow.
And as far as your standardized testing, we are looking into that, but I prefer the lower the better. You know, if you have
I got
original,
a 3 on my ACT.
like
You're in.
if you hate college, then University of Funny would be for you.
Yeah.
You know, if you've ever been kicked out of a class or had to sit in a corner with a dunce cap or had to go to the principal's office, you'd probably do well. I was thinking about that No Child Left Behind. I was reading about our high school graduation rate.
Yeah.
There is no child left behind. None of our kids are getting out of high school. So it's working.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
it's working.
It's perfect. It's a perfect system.
But I mean, and it goes back to that plan where they're teaching kids how to take a test, not how to think. You know, America ends with I can, and that's like what I try to end my shows with. The fact is, we're a nation of innovators, not a nation of duplicators. But I feel overall, our schools are trying to make us into a duplication nation. We're not a duplication nation. We're an innovation nation. You know, our ancestors looked at each other in the eye and said, hey, I'm going to this new country on this ship. There's no bathrooms. I can't even get my girlfriend to go to Kennywood with me.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Let alone go across the country. So that's the point I'm trying to say. We need to buck up as a nation and follow that instinct. I do comedy, make $88, but I do it because I love it.
Yeah.
You know, everybody has that one thing in their heart they've been meaning to do, and they've been meaning to get to it next year, next month, but you don't have next year, next month, and our country certainly doesn't have it. You need to do what you have in your heart today, and that's what's going to save America, not a politician, not a government program, by Americans being Americans.
Dun, 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 dun. Your next president, Dick Frisbee.
Dick Frisbee.
Very good words. Well, again, I want to thank my guest today, Matt Wolfarth. Thank you for coming in, Matt.
Thank you so much.
Or you can
It's
call
been
him
a lot of fun.
Matt Wolfarth, Buzz Nutley,
Dick
Wolfie,
Frisbee.
Dick Frisbee, Grandpa Wolfson.
Pap Pap Wolf.
Yeah, whatever. And if you want to learn more information about him or University of Funny, you can visit
wolfiescomedy.com or mattwolfarth.com. wolfiescomedy.com is a lot easier to spell.
Oh yeah, wolfiescomedy.com.
Hey, I wanted to give you a shirt, an official University of Funny t-shirt.
Look at that.
I only had one left, so there
Well,
you go.
I got their
There
original.
you have
Thank
it.
you, sir. It's pretty spiffy.
We're proud.
UniversityofFunny.com.
I usually only give those to students when they graduate. That is your diploma, by the way.
Yes, I've got a diploma.
Yes, at
And
least
for,
it's something you can use.
and for Valley Tonite, this has been Nathan Marshall. Well, again, I want to thank my guest today, Mark Wolfarth.
Matt Wolfarth.
Oh, gosh.
I'll be Mark,
I
if that'll help
the
us.
Wolfarth was throwing me off.
Wolfarth.
Get too many names. That's the problem, Matt.